So what is MyLQ all about, sir?
So MyLQ is the short form of multiplying your learning quotient.
Right.
So maybe it's not a dictionary word. Learning quotient is not a dictionary word. But what we mean by learning quotient is when you actually move to second standard from first standard, the understanding of your subjects in second standard is a function of your learning in the first standard.
Right.
So we have actually termed it as a learning quotient of the first standard, which will determine your understanding or your pace of learning second standard. So this is what the concept is.
Right.
So our actually recent research was all about why children are afraid of arithmetic, particularly mathematics, why they are actually showing a little bit aversion towards mathematics. So me and my partner or my friend in this research, who is a 5-time CAT 100 percentiler between 2015 and 2023, his name is Ranjit Joshua. So he was actually preparing students for CAT exam for the last 10 years. So he also faced the same problem. Many students are actually afraid of quantitative aptitude. So we were actually discussing when Ranjit feels it so easy, why others are feeling it so difficult. So over a period of time, we realized that the children are actually not learning the first standard properly and going to the second standard. What is the consequence? The consequence is very simple. If you have not actually done the addition table in the first standard perfectly, you will take almost 2 minutes to 5 minutes to complete 10 single digit addition questions as a first standard completed student. But your ideal time should be for this 10 questions should be almost 30 to 40 seconds, where you are taking almost 240 to 300 to 360 seconds. Right. So almost 6 times or more you are taking. Then we have actually checked it. What is this correlation between this 6 times speed between a normal student and an ideal student who is having 1/6 of the time or the 6 times the speed? Then we realize that if we go to a driving school, the person after completing 21 days or 30 days of driving class for half an hour daily, he will be or she will be completed 60 kilometers in this days, and he is coming for the examination, driving school examination, and he might have covered 60 kilometers, and he is driving the vehicle based on his knowledge. So he has not converted that knowledge into a skill. So he is actually thinking and driving.
Right.
So that is why his average speed at that point of time, if he is allowed to drive in a highway also, 10 to 12 kilometers per hour. So if a skilled driver or a taxi driver or anyone who is skilled enough will be driving in a highway 60 to 90 kilometers per hour. So you can see the speed difference. Its a ratio is 1:6. So when someone is doing something based on knowledge, a knowledge based activity versus a skill based activity is having 1:6 ratio difference,
Right.
time difference. So we understood that when we were doing any arithmetic portion for any person at any class, this 1:6 ratio is actually standing very clear. And one more thing we understood was the number of trials when you are doing, the speed is also increasing, and one point of time actually arithmetic becomes a perfect skill. So in the whole time, so many years we are actually teaching the kids to keep arithmetic as a subject, arithmetic as a knowledge, arithmetic as a process. But we never told the children that arithmetic is a skill. Until and unless, what is a skill? Skill is something automatically comes from the brain.
Right.
We never think or we never actually go back and see where the clutch is, where the brake is, where the accelerator is, or where the gear is, or in which gear the vehicle is currently driving. Once we are a skilled driver.
Second nature.
Yeah, it's automatically, it comes from our intuitive mind or a reflexive mind. So that's what all skills are about. So when we were actually learning cycling, we used to fall down from the cycle till we get the cycle balance. Right. So what is the cycle balance is all about? Cycle balance is all about the skill of cycling. So once you learn the skill of cycling, in a moment, you are a cyclist. Yeah. So you can now actually do the cycling in a much better way without failing. Right. So what currently in the school, what is happening is, whether you complete the first gear or not, you will be allowed to actually do the second gear. Right. Without completing second gear or without properly actually driving the second gear, you will be taught third gear in a classroom environment. So no skill can be taught in a classroom environment.
And even if your first gear, second gear is wrong, you're still going ahead.
Yeah, so all promotion actually ensured that you can actually directly start driving at the fourth gear. Yeah. But in real life, you can't do it. Yeah. So the problem is, if you are not converting arithmetic into a skill, your entire competitiveness is gone. Right. Most of the time, we will say someone is smart, someone is less smart, someone is quick, someone is less quicker. From where it is coming? The whole thing is, it's all about his two basic skills. Yeah. One is all about comprehension. How fast he is reading his particular language, whether it is English or Kannada or Malayalam or Hindi. How fast he is going to read and comprehend what is the task about. Yeah. And second thing is, within the task, how fast he will calculate and actually create a solution out of it. So basically, the comprehension and calculation is becoming the fundamental reason for your quickness or so-called brilliance, so-called smartness in the school. So technically, it is the responsibility of the parents and the teachers now to make the children's arithmetic ability or proficiency into a skill. And it takes very little time to convert this into a skill. That's what MyLQ professes. And we have done it with so many students in the past 7 years, and in the past 2 years, we are a commercial enterprise doing this same thing. We have done it with our friends, our relatives, and all the family members, and so-called all the people, and we have actually seen the difference between pre-MyLQ and post-MyLQ, the arithmetic speed levels and proficiency. So 4 weeks before, we have actually opened it to the public by giving an interview on the Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and things like that. So we actually decided to actually go ahead and do the skilling exercise in a larger manner. So this is our preliminary interaction or preliminary interview about this skilling exercises. Thank you.